How's it going, everybody, and welcome to a bonus episode for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Last time, we went into the special episode, and we completed the final level, Chaos in the Grand Labyrinth, bringing the Toad Brigade along with us, and collecting the Super Crown, which marked the new added addition to the weird continuity of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, in which it's a prequel to two different games, and then the special episode's a prequel to another game that isn't related. I don't know. Anyway, this time I'm going to be going over a couple of things that I never showed off in the main thing, and as well talking about a bit of history in relation to Captain Toad and its predecessors or sequels or whatever you want to call it, even though this game came out after one of its sequels. Anyway, to begin, I want to return to episode 1 because I want to actually talk about Mushroom Mesa. I'm actually glad it flipped right to the first page. This was the first page it landed on. So, in Mushroom Mesa, I'm using it as an example for another thing as well, in addition to the thing I'm going to be talking about. So, Mushroom Mesa, initially, it was actually going to be a little more chaotic. There were going to be 4 Shy Guys up in this main part instead of 2, and it was going to be a little hectic. The other thing that I want to talk about is actually a way for Captain Toad to destroy enemies, which I failed to show off. But what Captain Toad can do is, if you spin the control stick, you should be able to have Captain Toad get dizzy instead of dying to a Shy Guy, but with this method, you can actually take out enemies, which, if you didn't play in assist mode or co-op mode, for example in Uptown Downtown, that would have been a very good way to destroy some of the Hammer Brothers. And the next thing I want to show off is something I actually wasn't able to and completely slipped my mind in the main series. So normally, Captain Toad is the main star, and when you complete Mummy Me Maze Forever, you get that nice crown on top of your head in any other levels that you play. However, Toadette never gets to wear the crown unless you go into episode 2 and head into one of the levels there. And that's what Toadette looks like wearing the crown. The next thing I want to show off is the Game Over sequence in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Yes, there is a Game Over sequence in this game. If you were to lose all of your lives, then you would be sent to a very special cave. And inside this cave, there is a super pickaxe as well as a bunch of pluck patches. So, in these pluck patches, you will find coins and a 1-up or 2. And yeah, it's basically just a way of getting you back to a comfortable amount of lives. Usually they give you what you had, which was 2 to start out, and a third one, if you are lucky. This Game Over screen, I know for a fact, is available also in the Wii U version, even though I never experienced it in the Wii U version. And I assume it would be on the 3DS version as well. I think there's also a hidden star out of bounds somewhere, maybe in the Switch version, and maybe the 3DS version, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there is a Game Over cave that gives you lives back, which is pretty unique. And when you exit the cave, you're just booted right back out into the book where you died previously, and I guess you'll get a tip or 2. The next thing I want to do is talk a little bit about Captain Toad's origins. So, alluded to via the playlist for this series, Captain Toad initially originated in Super Mario Galaxy. So, in Super Mario Galaxy, of course, Captain Toad looks a little different, not like his explorer self that we know now with this game, and other sporadic appearances since, but Captain Toad and the whole brigade were a part of Mario Galaxy, and that is where they came from. However, this game is not the only game starring a Toad. Now, this is unique in which Captain Toad stars in this game, but there are some other games that star the Toad species, including Wario's Woods for the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and a game I actually didn't know existed up until last year called Canopio, which is the Japanese name for Toad, Canopio Live for the Satellaview. And the Satellaview was part of a Satellaview add-on for the Super Famicom in Japan. Yeah, I never actually knew this existed. It was kind of like a quiz game thing, I believe? So yeah, that's just something interesting I wanted to point out. Of course, ever since Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, there have been a lot of appearances of Captain Toad in some other games, including an amiibo costume in Super Mario Maker, as well as Captain Toadette, or Archivist Toadette. As well as, of course, Super Smash Bros., whether it was a Toad Brigade trophy, or Captain Toad himself appearing in the new Donk City stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And next I want to talk about Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Odyssey, the two different sequels to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker depending on which console generation you're playing. So of course, Captain Toad was made after Super Mario 3D World, and Captain Toad was based off of the Captain Toad levels that were in Super Mario 3D World, which are listed right now on screen. And prior to the Switch and 3DS versions of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker coming out, Captain Toad made appearances in a couple of kingdoms in Super Mario Odyssey. Those as well are listed on screen right now. And speaking of the 3DS and Switch release of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, to celebrate the fact that they came out on the 3DS and the Switch, there was a bit of celebratory hint art stuff related to Captain Toad that was available in Super Mario Odyssey for a little bit, in which you could find Captain Toad's 8-bit sprite in certain locations, in certain kingdoms. Remember earlier in the series where I showed that one piece of concept art for Captain Toad in which it showed Wingo and a Sprixie? Yeah, there's 2 extra pieces of that type of concept art that I want to show off right now, as well as a whole bunch of other concept art and official artwork relating to promoting the game or even just Captain Toad's appearance himself, because they made a lot of artwork for Captain Toad, so you can see all of that on screen in a bit of a montage right now. I gotta say though, this new Donk City one perhaps is my absolute favorite of all of the official artwork.
Here you go!
The next thing I want to talk about are the E3 2014 announcement trailer for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Wii U, as well as the show floor demo and the differences that were in those events. So, in the E3 trailer, it began with a cannon launch sequence in which Captain Toad was on a star island, and Captain Toad launched to a different star island via a launch pipe cannon. That wasn't in the final game, but it does make an appearance in the code of the game, which I'll talk about later, because there's a whole lot of unused content in Captain Toad, including some levels. And speaking of which, in the trailer there's also an unused level, which is sort of based on what we got in the final release with Rock Pickaxe Cave, or whatever that level is called. Other than some minor differences between some of the stages shown off in the trailer and the final release, there's not really much other than the things I already pointed out. However, the show floor demo, the levels that we did get in that demo, are some of the levels that did make it into the final release. However, they had quite different names compared to their final names. So you can see in the footage now what some of the levels that were in the demo were initially named, and of course, if you've been watching along, you know what their final level names ended up being. Before we get to the meat and bones of this bonus video, the unused content, I do want to point out that the HUD is a little different. Not only is the artwork for Captain Toad's life counter similar to the artwork used in 3D World, but the Super Gems don't have their little eyes on them. And the scene that plays when you collect the Power Star is very similar, of course, to the scene that plays out when Captain Toad finishes collecting the green stars in 3D World. And now for the part that you've probably been waiting for this video. The unused content in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And there is quite a lot of it, actually. So thanks to the cut content of Skelux, or Skelux, I don't know how that's pronounced, but thanks to both of these sources and also the cutting room floor, I'm going to be presenting to you a whole bunch of unused content in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm not gonna show every single thing because that would basically be stealing these people's videos and they worked hard on this stuff, so I'm gonna just show bits of these videos and leave the full videos down below in the description. So before I talk about all of the unused levels that are within the game's code, I want to talk about a bit of some of the unused enemies. Now, for whatever reason, I'm going to start out with this one. There's a fully modeled man in the game's files. And he even has a running animation, so yeah, that's something. There's also some dummy type of enemies that I guess were used for other enemies, including a square one that looks like it's holding a knife, which just reminds me of what it would look like if QB was in 3D, red, and also had actual arms. So, for whatever reason, the Wii U bonus levels for the Sprixie Kingdom are in the Switch version's coding, but they're not playable. In fact, a lot of these levels I'm going to be mentioning are unplayable for a number of reasons. Either certain things about them force it to basically not be very playable, or textures aren't there, certain things. Most of these were most likely used to just test the Switch version, or some of these are leftovers from the Wii U original release. However, yeah, you can't play those for 3D World bonus stages in the Switch version, which is very unfortunate. You can load the data, but it's not really worth it, I think. However, those aren't the only 3D World related stages that are in the code, because the 6 levels that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was based off of in Super Mario 3D World are also present in the code. As far as unused levels go, there's a couple of bare levels in which they just had some textures being tested out, and they had the Super Gems and the Power Star kind of all in one little condensed area just to, test certain things. However, there are a couple of stages, including the one I mentioned earlier from the E3 trailer in the Underground, which ended up being based on the Rock Cave Pickaxe Plummet, whatever it was called. There's an actual kind of working stage related to that, although a lot of the textures are a little weird and off, considering it was just like a test and it was reworked or something like that, so yeah, you can see a bit of footage for that right now. And then a level that I really wish did make it into the final game is a level that is based off of a birthday cake. Yeah, there was a full level that was based off of a cake, and bravo to Skelux for basically fixing it up and making it work properly, because man oh man, this looks like it would have been such a fun stage. Maybe if they don't release a sequel to Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and they do more DLC for some reason, which I doubt personally, but you never know, then I would really love to see this stage. I assume Coco Meltdown ended up replacing it, but this stage looks incredible. I really wish it was in the full game. Who knows, maybe a similar concept will appear in the not-too-distant future. Again, I will leave full links to the videos where this information's coming from down below in the description, because there's a whole lot more information I'm not mentioning here in this bonus episode that I really, really want you to check out, because these guys worked very, very hard on their videos, so bravo to them, and go watch them, because they have a lot of other great information in them. And with that, that is it for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So, what is going to be coming next to the channel? Well, I guess I can give one hint, and that hint would be that a hint used for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker also technically applies to the next Let's Play. And that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. So until then, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later. Why are their eyes so large on the 3DS version?